Hello, my friends. Welcome. Namaste. So my name is David Shivadas. Today I have an ambient music group called Shivadas Ambient. It's usually just me mostly. Sometimes I do have a drummer that plays djembes, frame drum, and other, percussion instruments play with me. What I wanted to talk about in this video is the guitars I've owned. I thought it might be interesting. I'm not going to necessarily play the guitars. I just thought I'd talk about them. I'm not really a good guitar instructor, so we'll talk more about my journey playing as a guitar player in another video. But what I wanted to talk about was the 6 guitars that I've owned in my entire life. I've only owned 6 guitars. 4 of them are still with me. 2 of them are gone. So in this video, I'd like to talk about the 2 guitars that are no longer with me and how I came to play guitar actually. So I graduated from high school in 1977, and that summer of 1977, right after I got out of high school, I felt like I wanted to play guitar. So I took some money that I had saved up and I went out and bought a Fender Stratocaster. I had that guitar for about 4 years, and I played in a band from 1978 till 1980 with that Fender Stratocaster, playing rhythm guitar. That was the first guitar I ever owned, and I really liked the guitar. But in 1980, the band that I was playing in at the time, we lost our drummer and our singer. So we needed to look for a new drummer and a new singer. So my buddy, who had been playing guitar for much longer than I had been playing, excellent electric guitar player and acoustic guitar player. I still play with him once in a while, actually today after all these years. We decided that we wanted to reformulate the band, start playing some different music, different types of music. So we went on an adventure to look for a new singer and a new drummer. We found an excellent drummer, just an incredible drummer, and we found a really good singer. So at the time, I thought maybe I should get a new amp. I ended up buying a new amp. I ended up buying a Marshall Stack, and I got some effects, and I sold the old Fender Telecaster, or the Fender Stratocaster, sorry. So I sold that old Strat, and I ended up buying off of another friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine really, who had an old Gibson Les Paul. And this Gibson Les Paul that he had was a beautiful sunburst red. It was so worn out. The neck was worn out from being played so much. It was really incredible. The feel was really good. Felt like a good broken-in guitar, like it had been vibrated on a lot, felt like it was really had a good resonance. So I bought that guitar and I played that guitar from 1980 until about 1985 when the band broke up. In 1985, our drummer quit the band because he had a girlfriend and they wanted to get married, start a family, buy a house and stuff, and he just didn't have time to play around anymore, to play music anymore. Now at the time we were playing in some bars around the Detroit area, or playing at parties, house parties, backyard parties and stuff. So we were fairly busy and just playing around the Detroit area. We didn't travel around and play or anything like that. We all had full-time jobs and stuff like that, and we weren't ready to give up our full-time jobs to play music full-time. And I probably certainly wouldn't have done it because I knew I was at best a mediocre guitar player. I wasn't really that great. So the band broke up in 1985. Now, me and my buddy that was playing electric guitar, we still played together. And once in a while, we'd just get together and jam and mess around. In 1986, I was on my way to his house. We were getting together to play guitar a little bit. And I had my Gibson Les Paul in the back of my trunk. I stopped to get some beer. I was in the store for about 5 minutes, and you can probably guess what happened. Came out of the store, my car was gone, my beautiful Gibson Les Paul was gone. So that was the end of that guitar. So that was the end of my first two guitars, my first two electric guitars my first two guitars really that I ever owned in my life. Now, I don't come from a musical background. There's nobody in my guitar that is musical, that plays piano, guitars, or any other instruments, except for my great-grandfather, who was a violin maker and a violin player. So that was the only connection that I have to anything musical in my family. But I started to love to play guitar, and I knew that I was going to play guitar for the rest of my life, which I've done so far. But after that guitar disappeared in 1986, I really didn't have any interest in playing guitar anymore. I really needed a break from it, primarily because I had a girlfriend. We were talking about getting married. We were talking about starting a family, buying a house, and things like that. So I just gave up playing guitar. And I got married, started a family, bought a house, and that's what we did. So that's the beginning of my story of how I came to play guitar, and my first two guitars that are no longer with me today. So in the next video, I'll tell you about the first guitar I owned that I purchased, the first acoustic guitar that I owned, and how I came to get these other 4 guitars that I still have with me today. And I'll probably never get rid of these guitars. They all have a purpose. They all have some meaning for me. I'll probably never get rid of them. A lot of meaning, a lot of memories with them, and things like that. So I'll probably never get rid of them. Next video, I'll be talking to you about my first acoustic guitar. So stay tuned for that, my friends. Thank you for joining. I hope you found this a little bit interesting. Have a good day. Many blessings to you. Namaste.